Hi guys, it's Alex here again today and I'm wearing the same outfit. God, who would have guessed? Anyway, there's actually going to be like half a dozen videos of me wearing the same outfit, so I'm really sorry. But as you'll see, I don't know whether I will put this video up yet or not, but I really like my hair today. I really love it. And I also really like this scarf. It's a vintage one that I think I got from like a thrift store, or see, it's like ripped, or from a vintage market or something. I got it somewhere, but I just like it. I just like it. It doesn't do much. It's just, you know, it doesn't keep me warm or anything, I guess. I guess it kind of could. Reminds me with the length of it a little bit when I was a girl guide. I need like a little thing there and I feel like a girl guide. But anyway, wow, Alex, way to get off topic. Day 4 of this 30-day challenge is my favorite book. So I've actually chosen 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 books that I'm going to talk about. 3 I have here sitting in my lap, and 3 I don't have copies of here with me in the UK. But I'll talk about them anyway. So first on my list is a book called Marching Powder, which is by a gentleman called Rusty Young. It's set in San Pedro Prison, La Paz, Bolivia, and it's based around a gentleman called Thomas McFadden. I have to write all that down because I know all this, but I kind of get tongue-tied on video. Basically, Thomas McFadden is a British drug runner, or drug runner, and he gets caught on the Bolivian border and gets thrown in San Pedro prison. It is a really good book. It's quite graphic and gory, so not something that I would recommend you to either watch if you're, you know, young or if you have a weak stomach. My favourite part in the book is probably the goriest part in the book, which probably says a lot about me. I won't go into detail on it because, as I said, it is quite horrific, and you'll probably all stop watching my videos if I tell you, because you probably will think she is a complete weirdo that probably belongs in a prison. Maybe, no, it's not that bad. But anyway, moving on. Really good book. Suggest you go buy it if you don't have a weak stomach and you're not probably under the age of 18, because it's quite a horrific, so well, I think personally it's probably quite horrific. Okay, my next 2 are Committed and Eat, Pray, Love, both by Elizabeth Gilbert. As I mentioned in my favourite videos, Eat, Pray, Love was made into a movie. Great book, great movie. The book actually changed my life. If you haven't read it, which I could probably think that most of you have, or you know someone who has, get your hands on a copy and read it. It's fantastic. Then, after I read that, I was skeptical about getting any more of her books, because I thought, this book is fantastic. She's going to disappoint me. But Elizabeth, you didn't. You really didn't. The next one I picked up, there is other ones. There's The Last American Man, I think it's called, which I've never read. But Committed, which is called A Skeptic Makes Peace with Marriage. I'll read you the blurb on the back. At the end of her best-selling memoir, Eat, Pray, Love, Elizabeth Gilbert fell in love with Felipe, a Brazilian-born man of Australian citizenship. Resettling in America, the couple swore eternal fidelity to each other, but also both survivors of difficult divorces, enough said, swore never to get married. But Providence? God, I'm such a bad reader. Providence intervened one day in the form of the US government, which gave the couple a choice: either get married or Philippe would never be allowed to enter the country again. Dun, 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 dun. Basically, that gives you an overview of what the book's about. And if you haven't read Eat, Love, Pray, and I've just ruined the end for you, I'm very sorry. But it's still an amazing book. The end doesn't mean much when the middle's so good. Basically, this is a fantastic book. This I would recommend. I know this is going to sound horrible. I recommend everybody should read this before they get married. Even, you know, it's just a really, there she is. Good old Elizabeth. She's fantastic. Her books are fantastic. Absolutely. I love, you know, love her to pieces. This book actually cost me quite a lot, considering how much books are in Australia. It cost me $33. Australian dollars, that is. So I think that's quite a lot, but it's definitely one of the best books ever. I've read this 3 times, and I will reread it again when I travel through Europe. It's definitely a great book. I bought my boyfriend's sister Kerry the Eat, Pray, Love for Christmas, no, for her birthday, and she's actually getting married later on this year. I think I'm allowed to tell people now, but she's getting married later on this year, and I'm contemplating giving her this to read. I don't know. It wouldn't turn anyone off marriage, don't get me wrong, but I just think it's a really good book that everyone should read. So go out and buy this book. This is the book that I suggest everyone gets off the computer or gets onto Amazon and purchases. Okay, as well as Eat, Pray, Love if you haven't already read it. Okay, my next two are my Lauren Conrad and Whitney Port books that I mentioned in my favourite television programs. So I've got the Lauren Conrad style book, which I have kind of mentioned on my blog. I think it's a fantastic book. It's really, you know, I love it. I read it all the time. I have to tell you all something. I read on the toilet. I constantly take, you know, books in there, and this is one that I won't even take in there because I'm just too afraid that I'm going to ruin it. Yeah, I mean, I'm actually going to be selling my copy of this book over here because my mum's bought me one back in Australia, so I don't have to take it home. But it's a really, really good book. Really good book, really well illustrated, really good book. Now, the next one is True Wit by Whitney Port, which is like Whitney's version, I think. And it's starting to sound horrible. It's not meant to be like Whitney's version of the Lauren Conrad book. There is some flaws in this book, and I'm going to do a complete review on my blog about it. I love the content. The content's fantastic, but I think after just showing you the Lauren Conrad book, let me get up a good representation. You're probably all going to see what I mean about the Whitney Port one. I do love it a bit, and I do definitely love the book. It's just not, here you go, that was a good representation. It's going to sound really nasty, it's not meant to, but it's just not as professional. This is all a little disappointing. Like, just, I don't know. The review will all be up on my blog, and I'm going to compare the, I'm going to do a review of both books, and then I'm going to do a Lauren versus Whitney comparison. Dun, 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 dun. But, you know, I mean, they're going to be compared to each other, so it's only, you know, I've got both of them, I love both of them, they're definitely both on my top books. Anyway, and my last one, and this was one of my top movies, should come as no surprise, Marley and Me by John Grogan is, I've got it all written down here if you can't tell. Marley and Me by John Grogan, favorite book. Read it and cried and cried and cried some more, and laughed and laughed and laughed some more. Not in that order though, I actually laughed before I cried, but it's just, you know, fantastic. I'm an animal lover, I love my dogs. My dog, and I don't have dogs anymore, I've only got one back home in Australia. Don't love the cat, but you know, I still love him to a degree. He loves me deep down inside as well. Hi Louie, if you're watching. I'm coming home soon. Anyway, yeah, Marley and Me by John Grogan, definitely a book that everyone should read as well. So I hope you like my suggestions. Please put some comments below if you've read or like any of my books, or if you decided to go out and read them, or if you want me to go into any more detail about any of them. Just let me know and I will do so. So until next time, you will probably see this outfit again, because I think I'm going to film what's day 5. My favourite quote, oh God help me, I'll wait, I might have to wait and do that one. But, okay, so until next time, I'm Alex, and I'll speak to you all soon. Bye bye!